Yeah.
All right, switching gears to the government, one of our favorite topics, and the impact of AI and how the government is dealing with it. We have two sort of opposite ends of the spectrum. The first, we've been talking a lot about Doge and them going after software contracts, and we were sort of chastising and making fun about the fact that they didn't understand it. And in that conversation, we mentioned a bill that had been floated a couple years back called SAMOSA, that was legitimately trying to tackle what we both agreed was a very legitimate problem, although probably not as big in the grand scheme of things when you're talking about $1 trillion budgets as people might think, but still real dollars and real meaningful. And some interesting news that it has been re-raised. That I think it's the House, right? Someone in the House has reintroduced the bill with some bipartisan support. So maybe the bright spot out of all this Doge saber rattling is that maybe we'll get some real legislation to actually address the problem more holistically. I mean, you love all the government stuff. What's your thought?
Yeah, because the federal government has this $15 billion software budget. And at the end of the day, they're not managing it super well. And everybody knows it, but it's been hard for them to centralize their spend very efficiently. So everybody knows this is a problem. Frankly, Doge did not solve this problem or actually dig into it in a meaningful way. But at least there's some sort of government effort towards this. Frankly, this has been overlooked because it's hasn't been that big of a deal. It's still a rounding error in the overall federal budget. But I think that probably there are bipartisan sponsors. This isn't really a partisan issue. It's just a matter of whether this issue can get enough of support to actually support a vote and get pushed through into being. So it's a good step. At least something is going on to cut some government costs without cutting government capabilities.
Yeah, I do think it's interesting. I mean, to your point, the part of the challenge is that even if they solve every last piece of waste or whatever, it is that it's a rounding error, right? There's this a new analysis that just came out about the spending, and you just see how big the numbers are and how little these parts of it are. That said, the way I look at it, the biggest benefit of doing this, providing a more critical eye, is that I actually think it's really less about cost and much more about capability, much more about posture. And if I'm hamstrung by outdated contracts or bloated technologies, then that actually makes me less able to
Mhm.
reapply that money in other ways. So I think there's a lot of good that can come from all of this.